Alright guys, welcome back to Kuroji Gaming. I told you guys I was going to make another video of this Saturn. It's an 07 Saturn Ion Level 2, I believe. But anyways, the only thing that was wrong with it was that the thermostat was bad with it, or the thermostat was bad, so I just replaced it, and yeah, that's where we're at now. So it had this scuff right here, and then you can see right along here there's a black line where the paint got scuffed off up here, right here, and a little down here, but that's not that big a deal. The only thing we really want to focus on is right here. The only reason I did not tape it off on the sides is because when you primer it, because you have to primer this, because if you don't, the black might show through the base coat of the white. So what you have to do is you have to primer it. Of course, you got to sand it down first. Sand down the clear coat. So I pretty much did the sand right here. I sanded off the clear coat right over here on this side, and then all along the bottom right here. So what you want to do is you want to take the clear coat off, because you can primer on top of the base coat, or you can even paint. It's best if you just take the base coat off and then just leave it to the primer itself. And then that way, whenever you primer it, it sticks really well. You don't want to tape it up, because if you do, when you put the base coat, the primer, and then the base coat, and then the clear coat, when you take off that tape, there's going to be a big line, because you know all those layers of paint that you put on there is going to be higher than the actual paint of the car, and it's going to look a little funky. So what you want to do is you just sand it down through the clear coat and through the base coat, and then get it to the white primer. And then what you want to do is you want to throw the primer, a light primer, until it's nice and covered. Then throw the base coat, and then when you throw the clear coat, you want to throw it over a little bit over the clear coat it already has. That way it's smooth. Once that's done, then what you want to do is you want to buff it. You know, you leave it for like 3 days. You just let it cure. You know, those 3 layers of paint that you threw on there. You leave it for like 3 days, and then you come back and you buff it. And once you buff it, oh man, it looks great. And I'll show you guys. I'll make another video. I just wanted to show you guys where I'm at right now. All this isn't going to be painted, so I'm not worried about how dirty this is. It's not even going to get through here. So yeah, let's see how it turns out. I'll show you guys the end result. My GoPro's dead, so I can't just show the whole procedure, but you know what, I'll throw the base coat on here. Right now, I'll make another video, or shoot, I could even do it right now. But you know what, I'll just let's see. This stupid thing. These things are real cheap. Alright, you know what? Screw it. I've already... Well, anyways, once you sand it down and everything, you've done everything, you want to use... This is what I use normally. Some alcohol. Just wipe it down with the clean cloth, one of these blue cloths. and you just wipe it down nice and clean, even all, you know, as far as you can. And then what you do is you get a tack cloth. Get a nice little tack cloth and just go over it. Don't push on it too hard, because some of the sticky stuff that's on the tack cloth will actually stick to the car itself. And then when you go to paint it, it's gonna get stuck. You're gonna have like these little pieces of cloth and sticky stuff underneath your paint. But all right, I think it's done. So I'm gonna primer it. See if this thing's still video still on. Yep. Oh, we're at 6 minutes already. I'm trying to hurry. Like I said, just something just light. It ain't gotta be crazy. You have to put like 10 coats of this stuff. If you can do it within 1 coat, that's even better. And this is just a regular universal primer. It's white, so I picked it out. Let it dry for a second, because you don't want it to run. If it runs, then you have to sand it down again. Yeah, just give it a second. I'm in a little bit of a hurry, so I'm trying to hurry up and do this. If you overspray, it's okay, because you got to sand this down anyway. So. On there. Try not to get it to run. You get it to run, you're gonna have bigger problems, especially with the base. The primer, not so much. That's not that big a deal. But just leave it for a second, let it dry. See, this stuff, it dries pretty quick. Primer dries pretty quick. The base coat, that's a whole nother thing. You gotta the base coat, you have to let that dry for at least an hour. And what I'm using is because they sell the base coat of this car, they sell it at AutoZone, so it's just a perfect match. BGM 0434, it's the Olympic white. So you just get some white primer and you throw this base over that, and then you just throw the clear coat that they make, because you want to use the same like the same brand of base coat, because that's actually going to come out the best. Because this stuff is kind of cheap, so you could even, I've heard that you could use the 2K, the 2K Ultra clear coat from Walmart, I believe, and that stuff I heard is pretty good, better than the perfect match, the clear coat. But I've always used this, and the clear coat that comes along with this, and it works just fine. Like I said, it's just for a customer that it's their car, so it ain't gotta be all fancy. You don't have to have a big, huge paint booth, you know, spend your money. It's just real easy. Get paid, buff it. It'll look perfect once it's buffed. It's probably gonna look better than the original paint job just because it's already old. So yeah, that's it. Now you just gotta sand this down. You can put some more primer on there so it's a little more white. And then yeah, you just put the base on there, clear coat it, and call it a day. And if you're gonna put multiple base coats, make sure you wait an hour in between each base coat. You want to do at least 3. 3 is perfect. And then after you base coat it, you could leave it for, I don't know, a half a day to a whole day, and then throw the clear coat. Put like 3 clear coats, or 2 or 3 clear coats. The thicker you get it, the more you can buff, because you know. And then yeah, in between each one of those coats, you gotta wait an hour as well. Just make sure it's nice and dry. You spray somewhere along the paper, touch it. If it doesn't stick, you're good. And that goes with the primer, the clear, and the base coat. If it's not sticky, you're pretty good. Usually in warm weather, it works the best. I have these lights that are pretty bright, and they give a lot of heat, so it's gonna cook it pretty quick. All right, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. I'll be happy to answer. And please subscribe. Please subscribe.